that God exists, not that
Mm.
you actually believe that the entity itself exists. You have no certainty on the matter on
Right,
that,
right.
but you still pushing it on humanity that logically God has to exist. Also, logically, since you're going off your feelings, God can't exist
He doesn't
or
have to.
doesn't doesn't exist or
Yeah,
doesn't have to exist.
yeah.
Why do you self-hate yourself to a degree that you will believe in your own imagination of something to that degree? And what I mean by self-hate in this particular case is that I think religion subliminally instills self-hate into people, period. Passing on accountability onto what you want to say a God is because, hey, he'd take care of it. Hey, he would take the wheel, as we say,
Mm-hmm.
even though he just flipped this mud for some reason because you let go and you actually believe that he took the wheel or was going to take the wheel. That being said, your imagination is your everything. Not my system of beliefs is just as flawed as your system of belief, but
Mm-hmm.
yet we're compelled to pick on people for some reason. We're compelled to pick on people who don't believe, but you're only believing off of muscle memory of what you were taught to do growing up.
Yeah, I don't understand that. They'd be like, you don't believe you're going to hell and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Or like I can't believe you think that way, but to be honest, like, bro, you got it from a book.
You got it from a book. You didn't do any experiments to properly implement this into your system of belief to actually believe in it in the to actually believe in it in the context of how we use the word believe, because I think that's a misconception as well. Believe, even though language is, I guess you could say, fluent within itself,
Hmm.
because it always morphs into whatever it is, whoever's saying it at the time. That I could just make up anything. I made up Sybil back in the day, even though that's a real word.
Hey, that's a
That's
classic.
somebody in my head. I was a kid and I'm thinking I'm making up something. Turns out it's somebody's name for real. I didn't know that.
Right.
but 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 the fact that I can just make up a word and that word has just now become a language. If I explain it to you, and me and you start saying it. It is now a new language. So, given the fact that we use language in the way that we use language, and that being said about the word believe, definitionally, it's in telling of think. It's not actually how we use the word believe in the context of how we use it, because we use it to be certain.
I feel like belief is like I really, 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 really think this is what it is. Like I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure this is what it is.
exactly. It's kind of like how earlier, or many times before, you heard me say how the English language is retarded, but that's like any language, really. If you really think about if you listen to other people using their words in the dialect that they use their words, but American English itself, it's like, again, we got 80 different words that mean the exact same thing, but we
Hmm.
use each one of those words differently, like belief and think.
Hmm.
Same thing. Hey, I believe in this to be what it is. Hey, I think this is to be what it is. Same thing, same word, same meaning. But again, the context of how we're using it makes it something new. I think this can be added into to all this. You ever think about if sperm can change their mind?
No, I never thought about that. Like change their mind, like I don't want to be in here type
Like
or
yeah,
what.
like say like according to science, sperm is these little tadpole looking things that floats that swims to an egg,
Mm,
and when they get there, they nibble or somehow break themselves into this egg
mm.
to fertilize it. In the process of breaking into this egg, you think a sperm could just change its mind? Like, nah, I'd rather die, or or now I don't, I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't even feel like being born or whatever. I don't feel like being metamorphed into what I'm going to metamorph into.
Right. I never thought about that.
I would assume they know what's going to happen to them, given that their sole purpose is to do what they're doing.
Right.
That being said, if they can't change their mind, how do we have hmm, how do we have a thinking process? Because that would mean that we're programmed as well as the sperm itself. Because that it's some type of program within sperm
Hmm.
to make them solely do that.
I think
Hmm.
we do have a program. I think we are programmed, but I feel like with certain things like that, the program can be broken down. I feel like a lot of things we break down on how we think ourselves. So I think how they go or how a sperm would go is a lot different. Like we wouldn't be able to comprehend what's going on there, to
But
be honest.
but why wouldn't we? We always downplay ourselves by saying that. We always, I think that's a various form of self hatred as well.
Hmm.
Not saying again, not saying that you were intentionally self hating yourself.
Right.
Hey, oh, I'm a humble myself, even though what humble means, again, we like to use the argument. You know what humble mean? Humble mean is self hate. It does self hate yourself, degrade yourself. That's what
Hmm.
humble means. But again, the multiple meanings in the multiple ways that we use the same word over and over, it also means to like, hey, basically recognize your place,
Hmm.
recognize that someone else is something,
Yeah.
be aware of that. So, but I'm thinking like, what is again, we don't even know what a soul is,
Right.
but, yet we're intertwining soul and brain like they're not two different things or one and the same or two different things that's working together. Let's to use that last one working together, we have to have somewhat meaning of a actual soul. Like what is this thing that we call a soul? We're going off literature again for soul. We're going
Hmm.
off text about what a soul is because basically how old it is. The older the text is, the older the literature is, the more believable
The
it's
more
supposed to
true.
be for
The
some
more
reason.
true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is freaking holograms? Like, come on.
Hmm.
Like, are people drawing on the freaking walls because of what? Because we said so? Because not because history says so. We can make anything look old.
Facts.
We can make anything look old. But yet again, going back to that whole imagination is everything, we're choosing to want to believe in the things that we're believing in. What is a soul before it becomes into a human body that's being born? Also, how are souls being created to be a soul, period? Of course, like we got this thing called reincarnation, and reincarnation basically the same soul being recycled over and over. Hey, if you want to believe that, cool, but that can't just be it. It got to be more to it.
Right. That
But
never made
again,
sense. I feel like I hear reincarnation. That never really made too it never really made too much sense to me. Cause it's like there's not what if the population grows? So now we got 8 billion people. What if we got 9 billion? What if we
Like,
got
where these extra souls coming from?
but but we do live in a vast universe for sure, and this isn't the only place that holds life. So
Imaginarily speaking,
yeah,
what you said, yes,
yeah.
it's again, it's dope. It's dope. Imagination is dope.
Hmm.
It would be a dope thing to actually believe that it'd be a dope thing if these things actually is what it is.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But again, hey, that sounds cool too. Another thing about a reincarnation that I came across was we're reincarnating because there's lessons that we didn't learn and we have to go back and relearn them.
Hmm.
But I'm like, that's these are the loopholes of why do you believe in this? Like, you can't tell me why you believe in it outside of a feeling because it's like, bruh,
It sounds
if
cool.
that beat, yeah, it sounds, it don't even sound cool to me. It sounds like you want to be philosophical or smart or whatever because if we got to keep returning to do things that we don't even know that we even being born about, why are we keep reincarnating to do the same thing over and over and over, but not retaining anything that we have learned about?
Hmm.
We just keep redoing the same stuff over and over and over, getting taught the domino effect of that same mentality from our ancestors over our parents over and over again,
Hmm.
but yet it's something that we ain't learning. Man, give me a clue. No, you know what? No. Matter of fact, I take that back. I messed up. I don't want a clue because clues are the loopholes of why you believe. If you get a sign, there's a God. Versus God just saying, "Here I am." Signs are God for some reason, and we're choosing to believe in that.
Yeah, if the right stuff happened at the right time.
Right stuff, what happened at the right time, or won't he do it moments, which are essentially coincidences.
Hmm.
Yeah. So again, what is a soul, and is that soul the sperm, or is that soul the egg once it become fertilized? Or let's go with this: since you're not born yet or an embryo, when do the soul actually enter the body in order for it to be you, if a soul is a thing?
Right.
Questions, man. Again, I just like talking about it,
I
man.
don't know if
This is
soul is like I think the way we talk about soul is kind of wrong. I I would say soul is more like if we could replace it with energy, I feel like that would make more sense to me. Like energy.
But that's because we explained that energy is something of electricity, what electricity is.
Well, that's a
But
form. Yeah.
well, that's a form of energy. Yeah, my bad. That's a form of energy, not as
Hmm.
essentially what energy is. My bad. But
Hmm.
yes, but energy, what is that? That can also be part of what you just said, the soul itself. But
Hmm.
again, what is energy?
I know. I
What
can't
is
I
what
can't give you a definite answer. I can only tell you what I feel, like we were saying before. Energy is definitely
exactly
everything.
matter?
Yeah, matter and not matter. Like the energy of thought, energy, anything. I don't feel like there's multiple souls. I feel like everything is just one. It's different processes of how
Ooh.
it expresses how a soul or energy might express itself. Like you say, you got electricity, you got heat, you got, you know what I'm saying? You got thermal, well, that's heat, but you know what I'm saying? Just said that twice. But I feel like there's one of there's one thing, this one process is working together. Everything's just a process.
Okay. Would that come from the same thing of it being a soul creator
I don't
or Big Bang?
I think that could be a
Same thing.
part. I think it could be a part of it. I think it'd be a form of expression through the energy, like a creator,
Ooh.
physical creator.